Hi kids, hope all of you are doing well, all of you at home and safe. I'm sure you're reading the chapters that we have already discussed. So here we are with the new chapter that is there in your book, which is The Wizard of Hockey. Now, Wizard of Hockey basically means somebody who has skilled the art of playing hockey, who is a master of it and does wonders when he plays hockey. So there's one such person that our country, India, is proud of till date. We'll be reading about him in this chapter. So let's see who it is. It's Major Dhyan Chand Singh. So what does the chapter say? The Major Dhyan Chand Singh is considered to be one of the greatest hockey players of all time. So here we are talking about who's the wizard of hockey. It's Major Dhyan Chand Singh. He has done India proud by playing Olympics, and he has been in the team of India for hockey and has won 3 gold medals for us. So he is considered to be one of the greatest hockey players that our country has. Let's read further. It was a final of Punjab Indian Infantry Hockey Tournament in Jhelum, India. So we are talking about this tournament, hockey tournament happening in Jhelum, and who is playing Punjab Indian Infantry. Now, infantry is a unit in the army which fights on foot. So the soldiers who are part of the infantry are foot soldiers, and that is why they are called infantry. So Punjab Indian Infantry is playing the hockey tournament, and Dhyan Chand's side was losing the match by 2 goals. With only 4 minutes to go, his commanding officer called out. Who called out? The person who was in charge of the team, the commanding officer. He called out, "Aage badho jawan, kuch to karo dhyan." So he said that, move forward all you people of the team, and Dhyan Chand, do something, work wonders with your hockey stick. And so what did Dhyan do? Dhyan Chand did go on to do something. He scored 3 goals in 4 minutes and led his team to victory. So when you're playing match, especially football match or cricket match or tug of war for that matter, when your team is losing and you want to instill words of motivation into your teammates or instill the words of encouragement in your teammates, you say good words to them. Yes, come on, you can do it. Yes, you have to do it. So here the commanding officer of Dhyan Chand's team did the same. He called out to all the teammates that were there. He said, "Aage badho jawan," matlab aage chalo, kuch karo, and do something. Dhyan Chand, you have to do something. So what did Dhyan Chand do? He in 4 minutes scored 3 goals and his team won. Dhyan Chand Singh was born in the state of Uttar Pradesh in India on 29th August 1905. His father, Subedar Sameshwar Dutt Singh, played hockey in the army. So, where was Dhyan Chand Singh born? He was born in Uttar Pradesh on 29th August 1905. And his father was a Subedar. Subedar is again a position in the Indian Army. He was working for the Indian Army, and he also played hockey for the army. Dhyan Singh's family had to frequently move to the different places where his father was transferred. Now we understand that the people who are in the armed forces, be it Navy, Air Force or Army, they have to travel from one place to another. They are transferred. Transferred means they move from one place to another when their posting comes. So Dhyan Chand has been moving from one place to another wherever his father was posted, right? So let's move on to the next page. On duty, his schooling suffered as a result, and he stopped going to school after he completed class 6. So because of shifting from one place to another, Dhyan Chand's schooling suffered, his studies suffered, and after class 6 he completely gave up school. He did not study at all. The family finally settled in the city called Jhansi, where Dhyan's father got a small piece of land to build a house. So back then what happened, Dhyan Chand's father, he got a land where he could build his house, and there they settled down where his father retired. Alright. So young Dhyan did not show any special interest in sports. Though he loved wrestling, in fact his hockey career had quite an ordinary beginning. So Dhyan Chand did not have any special interest when it came to sports. He was good at playing them, but he was not very interested that he has to go into sports and all. He was much more interested in wrestling. But his hockey career also began very normally. There was nothing spectacular when he started playing hockey. Dhyan and other youngsters used to cut a leaf of a date palm each and pull off the fronds. Now fronds are, you've seen a leaf. So now palm leaf is really big, huge. So they used to tear off the leaves on the sides of it, and only the stick in the center used to remain. That is what fronds here is. With a curve at its end, this palm leaf stem would become a makeshift hockey stick, and they would play with a ball made from old rags. So old clothes, they used to tear them off and make a ball out of it, and that is how they used to play hockey, Dhyan Chand and his friends. So what did they do? They took a big large date palm leaf. They used to tear away the leaves from the sides, and only the stick used to remain in the shape of a hockey, and they used to make a ball out of old clothing that they had, and they used to play hockey with it. Makeshift here is when you do some middle work and create a game out of it. So here they created hockey out of the leaf stem and ball of old rag. So that is what makeshift hockey stick here means. In 1922, at the age of 17, Dhyan Singh joined the Indian Army. He was a sepoy of the 14th Punjab Regiment. Now in 1922 we see that the Britishers were ruling our country. Yes, they had the control. So at the age of 17, Dhyan Singh joined the Indian Army and he became a sepoy. It's a soldier. It's a position that was there when India was not free. It was under the control of the British. So he became a sepoy, he became a soldier under the British Army. And in which regiment? Regiment is a unit in the army, because army is huge. There are people deployed in it all over the country. So there are various regiments, various units in which people are. So Dhyan Chand was in the 14th Punjab Regiment. While serving in the regiment, he came in contact with Subedar Major Bhole Tiwari. Now Subedar Major is again another post in the Indian Army, and it was when he was serving in the Punjab Regiment that he met Subedar Bhole Tiwari. Subedar Major Bhole Tiwari. Now Major Tiwari was very fond of hockey and was a good player himself. He recognized the talent in Dhyan Singh. He became Dhyan's guru, and his influence laid the foundation of Dhyan's amazing sports career. So what do we see? That it was Subedar Major Bhole Tiwari who saw that Dhyan Chand really had caliber, really had the tricks, and he was talented enough to play hockey. So he wanted to encourage Dhyan Chand to play hockey, and he pushed him. He became his guru. He started training Dhyan Chand, and that's how Dhyan Chand's foundation for playing hockey was laid. It was through Subedar Major Bhole Tiwari that he encouraged Dhyan Chand to play hockey, and also monitored how he played. He became his guru. He taught him. He became one of his coach. Tiwari and Dhyan Chand had no fixed time to play. Dhyan Chand had to pay attention to army duties and could not find enough time to practice hockey during the day. So he practiced alone in the field at night. Now, you know that being in the British Army was not easy. He had his duties to be performed during the daytime, which consumed all of the time he had, and he was left with no time to practice for hockey during the day. So what did he used to do? He used to go in the night to the field and practice playing hockey. While they rested, his army mates could hear him hitting the ball for hours at a time. The legend of Dhyan Chand and his unbelievable feats on the hockey field had begun. So while all his other friends, his other members of the Punjab regiment were resting inside during the night time, they could hear that Dhyan Chand used to practice in the nights and he used to hit goals. He was not tired throughout the day. He had developed this passion towards playing, and he made sure that he gave time, that was hours and hours, to practicing hockey. And that was when this foundation of him becoming one of the greatest players in the Indian hockey team had just begun. His future was about to settle. Let's move forward. Now in 1926, Dhyan played his first match for India in New Zealand, beginning an international career that lasted 22 years. So in 22, we remember that he met Subedar Major Bhole Tiwari when he was in the Punjab regiment and he started practicing. So after 4 years from then, Dhyan Chand, he played his first match in New Zealand, and his international career of playing hockey, which lasted for 22 years from 1926, had just started. Dhyan Chand won gold medals at the Olympic Games in Amsterdam, that was in 1928, Los Angeles 1932, and as captain in Berlin 1936. So the 3 gold medals that we had talked about in the beginning of the chapter, here are these 3. So when did he started practicing? In 1922, when he had just joined the Indian Army as a sepoy under the British Indian Army, right? And his first match he played in New Zealand in 1926. That was his first international match. And his first Olympic gold medal was in Amsterdam 1928. Then the second one was in Los Angeles 1932, and the third one, he was a captain of the Indian hockey team, and that was in Berlin in 1936. So you see that there is a gap of 4 years in every match. That is the gap between the Olympics that was there, and he won the gold medals. Dhyan Chand scored 36 goals in 12 Olympic matches, an average of 3 goals a match. So the number of total scores that scores or the total number of goals that he scored were 36. So if you break down them into the 12 matches that he played, he almost scored 3 goals each match, right? So 12 into 3, 36. That was the average that he was scoring in each match. Dhyan Chand could control the ball so well with his hockey stick that his opponents here means the people who are in the other team, the enemies, or you call them your competitors that are there in the other team, opponents thought there was some mischief at work. So he was so good at handling his hockey stick and the ball that the team members of the other team, they used to think that there is something fishy, there is some magic, some trick that he is doing. The Dutch broke his stick to check if there was a magnet inside. So the Dutch, what did they do? They broke his hockey stick just to check that if there was a magnet in his hockey stick and that he was controlling the ball with the magnet that he had there, but they found none. Then what did the Japanese do? Japanese thought there was glue on it. Dhyan Chand's magical stick work drew crowds to the hockey field. So the Dutch thought that probably his hockey stick has magnet inside, and because of which the ball never leaves the area of his stick. And what did the Japanese think? The Japanese thought that there is glue on his hockey stick and the ball is not going anywhere and is just sticking around his hockey stick. And with this kind of magic that he had, with this kind of skills that he had for hockey, and the practice that he had put in, it was like magic. And people, they just loved watching Dhyan Chand play magic with his hockey stick, and they used to flood the stadium and come and watch him. His skilled stick work and amazing ball control left fellow players and spectators awestruck. Awestruck is surprised when you see something that is so beautiful, so marvelous. You're just surprised, you know. So that is what the way he played, people were just left surprised as to how beautifully he is playing, the kind of control he has over the ball while playing hockey. His skilled stick work and amazing ball control left fellow players and spectators awestruck. He earned the nickname Hockey Wizard. So we know how this chapter is named, the Wizard of Hockey. That is what the nickname of Dhyan Chand Singh was. That is the Hockey Wizard, somebody who has mastered the skill of playing hockey. He does magic with it. He is absolutely skilled with it. All right, let's move further. When he played at Berlin Olympics, a German newspaper carried a banner headline, "The Olympic complex now has a magic show too." So when he was playing the Olympics in Berlin, when he was the captain, the German newspaper, there was a headline on the first page. Banner means the first page headline was that now in the field of hockey, what is happening? Magic is happening, because that is how Dhyan Chand used to play. Nobody could even take the ball away from him. That is how he was playing. Dhyan Chand believed in being the best. As a great sportsman, he never lost his temper on the field, but he certainly had the will to win. Now, when you are losing, or there are teams that are not very good with appreciating the kind of work you are doing, they try to anger you and you feel bad, you become a little angry. But what did Dhyan Chand do? He never lost his anger. He was a good sportsman, and he always believed in working the best. When you're doing your best, you're performing your best, you don't care of what others are saying. You just have your goal set on winning, and that's how determined he was. He had just one determination, and that was he had to win the match, and that's how he used to play. Dhyan Chand played with excellent team spirit. He respected his teammates. Even though he was talented, he never boasted or showed off. He never had ego. When you, for instance, you're playing football and you have scored 4 goals and your teammates have not scored any. So Dhyan Chand here also was kind of that man who was the best in his field, but he never had the ego for it. He always encouraged his teammates. Though he used to score most goals, he was best at playing hockey, but he never showed off that, I am the best and I am the reason why we have won the match and I am the one who has scored so many goals. No, that was never his attitude. He was always grounded and he always respected his teammates. A hockey is a team match. It's a game where you have 11 players, and if you do not respect your players, they will not support you. And without the support, even a single player who is very good with it cannot win the match. He played selflessly. If he found that one of his teammates was in a better position to score, he would immediately flick the ball to the well-placed player. Flick the ball is pass the ball from his hockey stick to another player who was in a better position to make a goal. He never used to hesitate for that. Being the best doesn't mean that he has to score all the goals. So he used to pass the ball as well to his teammates who he thought were in a better position to make the goal. So that is how he played selflessly. He was not selfish, that I have to be the best and I have to make all the goals. He used to pass the ball as well. Hockey is a game of 11 players, not of one individual, he always said. I just explained that it is a team sport. It is not a one-man sport. You have to play in coordination with the 11 players that you have on your team. So if one has to play, you have to respect the other 10. That is how your team wins. That is how you can achieve the goals. At the age of 51, Dhyan Chand retired from the army as a major. The government of India honoured him that year by awarding him the Padma Bhushan, India's third highest civilian honour. So Padma Bhushan is highest civilian here, means people who are not in the armed forces, they also receive awards. And Major Dhyan Chand, at the age of 51 when he retired, after that what did the government do? The government presented him with the Padma Bhushan for his investment, for his time and skills that he had given to the sport of hockey. Dhyan Chand breathed his last on 3rd December 1979 in Delhi. A year after his death, the Indian Postal Service issued a commemorative stamp in his honour. So, after he retired, he received the Padma Bhushan, and in 1979, Major Dhyan Chand, that was on 3rd December, he expired, he died. And after 1 year of his death, what did the Indian Postal Service do? They brought out these stamps to remember him, to give him as an achievement what he has done in the past for our country. Postal services, you understand, we send letters, we send couriers, right? And there are stamps that are stuck to it. So those are the stamps that were brought out for and in commemoration of Major Dhyan Chand. The Dhyan Chand National Stadium in New Delhi is named in his honour. His birth date, 29 August, is celebrated as the National Sports Day in India. So we even have the Dhyan Chand National Stadium in New Delhi, which is also in honour of Major Dhyan Chand because of his achievements that he has given in the field of hockey for our country or towards our country. And then we also see that 29th August is celebrated as the National Sports Day in our country every year. The President gives away sports awards such as the Rajiv Gandhi Khel Ratna, Arjuna Award and Dronacharya Award on this day at the Rashtrapati Bhavan. You know what Rashtrapati Bhavan is? The official home of the President. So on this date, that is the National Sports Day, the birth date of Major Dhyan Chand, these awards are presented to the people who have achieved something in the field of sports. In 2002, a Dhyan Chand Award for Lifetime Achievement in Sports and Games was introduced to honour those sportspersons who have not only contributed to sports through their performance, but continue to contribute in the promotion of sports after retirement from an active sporting career. So not only the Padma Bhushan, the Rajiv Ratna Khel Award, the Dronacharya Award, apart from these awards, we also have the Dhyan Chand Award for lifetime achievement in sports and games that the government of India has started giving to people, sports person basically, who not only have contributed their life into some sport, but even after now retirement, they are coaches or they are providing facilities to people to learn that sport. So these awards are being awarded to them. The opening sentence of Dhyan Chand's autobiography reads, now autobiography is a book that is written for that particular person. So we have this autobiography for Major Dhyan Chand. And what is the first sentence that reads? I am a common man and then a soldier. It has been my training from my very childhood to avoid limelight. Limelight, focus when everybody is just talking about you, and publicity. So what is he trying to say? That I am a common man first and then a soldier, because he has seen his father that way. His father was also a Subedar in the Indian army, so was Major Dhyan Chand. He was a sepoy, and then with the time his ranks also improved, and he retired from the post of of major. So what does he say? That I am a man, common man first, and then I am a soldier. And from the very beginning, from the day I was born and the kind of upbringing I have been given, I have been taught to stay away from limelight and publicity. I don't enjoy it. I like being a common man. I have chosen a profession where I have been taught to be a soldier and nothing beyond that. But he was not a common after all, not so common after all. His skill was the stuff of myths and legends. There will never be another like him. So when we talk about Major Dhyan Chand, we say that he was a wizard of hockey. Now, talking about somebody being a wizard is a huge thing, because you have to be perfect in what you're doing. For instance, if we talk about Mahabharata, or you're watching Ramayana right now, you see that Lord Ram and Arjun, for that matter, they fought the wars. Yes, they were masters of the wars and they won those wars. Similarly, you know that Ramayana or Mahabharata are myths, are legends. They are the myths of, they are mythologies of our country. So when we talk about them, we say that the skills or the attitude or the attributes that they have are perfection. Now here also, when we are talking about Major Dhyan Chand, he is perfectionist when it comes to hockey. So what he says in autobiography of his own is that I am just a common man. I have been taught to be a soldier and nothing more. But as a fact, we know the way that he has played for the country, the way that he has played the hockey matches and won the gold medals. He has worked wonders. Dhyan Chand's brother Roop Singh, son Ashok Kumar, nephew Chandrasekhar and granddaughter Neha Singh too had the privilege of respecting the national hockey team at the Olympics and various World Cup games. So we see that his family is also completely involved in this sport. Who all are involved? His brother Roop Singh, his son Ashok Kumar, then his nephew Chandrasekhar and granddaughter Neha Singh. All have been involved in this sport of hockey, and they have won few matches and medals for the country. What all are they? The Singh family has won 5 Olympic gold medals. Completely 5 Olympic gold medals they have won. What are they? 1 Olympic bronze, 1 World Cup gold, 1 World Cup silver and 1 World Cup bronze medal. So when we look at the legacy of Major Dhyan Chand, we see that his family is also involved in playing the same sport. They are taking it forward into their family. Everybody is playing hockey and they are representing our country in the various parts of the world, various matches that are being held in our in the world, and they are winning so many medals for us and making us proud. So this chapter, simple enough, talks about how Major Dhyan Chand was born in this small city of UP, and he was transferred from one city to another. He could not study after class 6, and at the age of 17, when he joined the British Indian Army, he became the sepoy. He was noticed by Subedar Major Bhole Tiwari, and he encouraged him to play hockey. So during the daytime he used to give his duties of a sepoy. During the night he used to practice hockey, and in 1926 he played his first international hockey game in New Zealand, and then he won the 3 gold medals in Olympics. That was in Amsterdam in 1928, in Los Angeles in 1932, and as a captain in Berlin in 1936. And at the age of 51, we see that he retired. He was awarded the Padma Bhushan by the Government of India. And his birthday, that is 29th August, every year we celebrate the National Sports Day. He died on 3rd December 1979, and to commemorate him, to acknowledge him, to celebrate him, the Indian Postal Service even brought out stamps for him. He in his name we celebrate the awards that are the Dhyan Chand, the sports awards for a lifetime achievement in the field of sports. Yes, I hope this chapter is complete. In the next video, I will be talking about the question, answers and exercises. Apart from this, one PDF file will be attached with the screenshots of the chapters from lesson 1, the poem My Books, and this chapter, that is The Wizard of Hockey, with question answers and the exercises that you have to learn. So there is this one PDF that you can download and start learning it. Hope to see you in the next class, all healthy and fine. Take care.